Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 19th of May, and I've had a request from my friend Leela Whitkin to play some songs from Showboat. Well, nothing simpler or nicer in a way. But Showboat is a bit of a riddle wrapped in an enigma. It is, of course, in many ways the first great classic show, but it's never performed in the same version twice, always slightly different songs are included or different scenes. It's a bit like Rossini's William Tell in that respect, and if you performed everything written for it, not only would it not cohere, but it would last 5 or 6 hours, which nobody wants. So it's always different. If you're Ian Judge directing the Opera North RSC production some years back, you include everything written for Joe and Queenie because that's very entertaining, but hardly tells the story very well. I mean, for an audience, it can be confusing. There are 5 couples. There's Magnolia and Ravenal. There's Julie and Steve. There's Parthy and Cap and Andy. There's Frank and Ellie. And there's Joe and Queenie. And all their stories have to be told. In the first act, it's fairly clear that we're rooting for Magnolia to defy her mother and marry Ravenal, which she does at the end of the first act, which is where most musical comedies would, of course, finish. And then Ravenal disappears for much of the second act, which is sort of a bit discombobulating for an audience wanting to follow their romance. Now, if you read Edna Ferber's original novel, and what better thing to do in quarantine than to read Edna Ferber's Showboat, you realise that it's not a romance between a man and a woman. It's actually the story of 3 generations of very strong women, of Parthy, Magnolia and her daughter Kim, and how despite the feckless men in their lives, they work hard and they put food on the table for their children. I thought Hal Prince's version told that very well in 3 hours and included all the important music. Anyway, having said that, what I'd like to play for you this morning is something I'm going to call A Portrait of Ravenal. case any of you are wondering, over here we have my certificate of honorary citizenship of the city of Memphis from 1989, and you can see there's a showboat there on the coat of arms for Memphis. Why am I an honorary citizen of the city of Memphis? That's another story.